welcome to another episode of the Women's Football Show with myself, Pippa Monique, and this week my special guest is Jules.
Hi there.
Presenter of Women's Matchday Show. How's it going?
It's been good. Thank you so much for having me on. I thought you never ask.
Yeah, well, I've got to get different guests on every week, so you're in the pool of networks, everyone that knows what's going on inside women's football, so of course you're here. Now, we've got to go through a recap of what happened over the weekend. There's so many talking points. Obviously, an 8-0 thrashing. The title chase at the top, Man City and Arsenal, as well as Chelsea involved there. 2 game cancellations again for pitch problems. And, of course, there was something else I wanted to mention.
The Arsenal defeat.
Yeah, we mentioned that. We're going to get into it. Let's start with Man City Arsenal 2-1. A very disappointing result for Arsenal.
I mean, when you look at the game, I think Arsenal, second half, really deserved to win that game. Yeah. They were all over Man City. Man City were more in control the first half. But the second half, I think Arsenal really took over, and it was really unfortunate that we couldn't, have that last goal. And Joe himself looked very frustrated. Yeah.
You managed to speak to Joe after the match. What did he say? I remember he said something like he doesn't comment on referees. Yes, that was the other topic.
The classic Arsene Wenger.
Referees in the women's game. Now, he said he don't comment on referees, but what was your thought on some of the decisions in the game?
I think it was eyebrow raising. I mean, I know we got away with sending off with Katie McGabe. But I think overall, when you look at some of the refereeing, every 60-40 decision went, or even 50-50 decision went to City. Felt like we're not meant to be biased, but I think that the referee was being very biased. Every decision, even Joe was getting frustrated on the touchline. I was being frustrated on the touchline. There was one moment where you're like, oh no, calm down. So it was a really frustrating game for Arsenal. I mean, Pauline Bremer scored a scruffy goal. Van Donk, when we scored a scruffy goal as well. Pretty much slam dunk it, Van Donk.
Everyone was trying to get over the line. It was a bit of an end-to-end game, like you said. It was scruffy goals. It wasn't the neatest, but everyone just wanted to just get those 3 points. But it was a fairy tale ending for Nick Cushing, who was the manager at Man City for 6 years. I know we've mentioned it in previous episodes. He's now off to MLS side New York City.
Do you think a lot more people is going to start doing that kind of trend?
I'm not sure.
Beginning managers.
Who knows? Because he's going there as an assistant manager. So
maybe because he couldn't get the big men's role he wanted.
I'm not sure what the decision is there, but it's. He did say there's an open door for him to come back into women's football in the future, so we never know, we might see him again.
It'd be good to see men go to the women's game and then some women's come to the men's game, that kind of stuff, It'd be really
who would you see as a women's manager in the men's game?
Imagine Pep Guardiola in like 10 years' time. Or Mourinho after he's gone for all the big clubs.
Really? I can't see it. I cannot see it.
Maybe Mourinho at Chelsea Women's one day. Yeah. With Eva Canero as his AM.
Yeah, I doubt it. But if we look at the stats there, in that game, 60% possession was Arsenal women, 15 shots on target compared to Man City 7. 7 shots on target for Arsenal and only 2 for City, which were the two
which
goals.
Which is probably why Joe was like, possession was important, as he said in the interview. And then he also said, they scored 2 goals, we scored 1. And it's true, it was a case of who was more efficient. Yeah. Lauren Hempst, to be fair, her goal was a lovely looping header, almost like the RVP in the World Cup kind of thing, without the dive, but it was a really good header. I think Jill Scott was fantastic in that game, very underrated, and underappreciated in that game because she didn't get the player of the match. Yeah. But for me, I think Jill Scott pretty much ran that show.
So it was 2-1 to Man City, and now Man City are at the top of the table on 38 points, I believe. I could be wrong there. I need to double check the table. Let's scroll down here. All the way down.
I think they are
36 points. Yeah. Chelsea in second on 35 points, and Arsenal now in third with 33 points. Both Man City and Arsenal played 14 games. Chelsea only 13. So it's still really tight at the top. Now let's look at the other games. There was Brighton against Everton, and the only goal came from Aileen Whelan, who scored against Everton, her old club. She had a short spell there in 2017. Bittersweet moment, I guess, but Brighton needed those points.
I do think scoring against your former teams and scoring, especially the match winner against your former team, there's very few sweeter moments in football you could do that. I mean, she probably held it in celebration. A lot of players do tend to hold it in the emotions for respect, but deep down inside, you're grinning. I don't care who you are, you're loving it. Yeah. It just shows like it's a very sentimental game as well. A lot of players will say, "Oh, I don't want to celebrate. It's bittersweet," but let's face it.
Would you celebrate if you scored?
Oh, I would love it. I wouldn't do an Adebayor, but but out of respect,
unforgivable.
I mean, if I'd probably just do that. The classic Ronaldo.
Yeah. So now Everton are fifth, 6 points ahead of Brighton. So that was, Brighton's kind of closed the gap there, but it was a very crucial point. 3 points for Brighton.
I mean, they have Izzy Christiansen their ball, which I think is a massive signing for them. Yeah. Winning the treble with Lyon. It's almost like having that kind of player, when you surround yourself with the people you aspire to be like. That kind of feeling, the changing room, you know, a winner, a real champion. She's obviously very disappointed to not make the World Cup squad last year, so I feel like she's got a bit to prove. And having that winning mentality, especially players will look into her and be like, you know what, she's won the treble, the respect factor.
She didn't get the 3 point, but Everton didn't win though.
Yeah, but she's not fully fit yet. But when she does come, I think it'll be a great addition for the league as well. A real world-renowned superstar for Everton as well. When you look at City, Arsenal and Chelsea ahead of them in terms of stature.
Even Man United,
massive stature for Everton, and I think they'll be pushing Reading in that little 4th, 5th spot the upcoming year.
Okay, now the biggest headlines probably came from this game. Chelsea v West Ham. Just for context, I'm going to go through the goals scored. So Mielde opened the scoring in the 7th minute after West Ham failed to clear the corner. Then in the 12th minute, Bethany England made it 2-0. And this goal was so classy. She ran around the keeper, basically sent the keeper to the shops. Sorry about that. A cool, calm finish from Bethany England. And then just before the second half, 44th minute, Sophie Ingle seems to be getting a couple goals these days, scored against Arsenal, now she's scored against West Ham. Good goal. Then into the second half, 52nd minute, Erin Cuthbert, beautiful goal. Like she laid it onto her left foot, rocketed it in.
That ball from Drew Scott dissecting that midfield, and that volley was just world class. I think that's the goal of the week.
Yeah, it was a really good goal. And then Matt Beard, the manager of West Ham, he protested for offside for that goal, and then he ended up getting a yellow card. When was the last time you saw a manager get a yellow card?
I think it was Guardiola, Mourinho.
How long ago was that?
Mourinho.
Actually, not too long ago, to be fair.
Yeah, I don't know where he was feeling. He just went up to the touchline and looked at someone else. But yeah, I think it is good to have the yellow card rule, because I don't think it's fair to always send the manager off to the stands. I think it asserts like a bit of caution, really. I think it's good to have that for the managers and the players.
Yeah.
So I do like the yellow card rule.
We're not finished with the goals now. 56th minute, just a few minutes after that, Bethany England gets her second goal, headed in from a corner. 61st minute, now this second goal from Mielde, she literally stormed into the 6-yard box, so the goalkeeper probably thought she had her hands on it. Then Mielde comes running in, literally just smacks it in. Yeah. And then the 87th minute, Ramona Bachmann gets her first goal of the season. Why not?
She missed a couple of chances before as well, so I was really happy for her.
Yeah.
And I think it was Jess Carter who came off the bench and
got the assist.
Got 2 assists actually. Yeah. And I think I know we're doing Player of the Week later, but in terms of super subs of the week, I think Jess Carter's got to get it. 2 assists off the bench. I mean, stuff of dreams for her really, especially for a starting spot.
To add insult to injury, in injury time, 16-year-old Emily Murphy scores on her debut.
I mean, Chelsea at the moment, they just look like a complete package. I mean, my head says Chelsea's probably going to win the league, but my heart obviously wants you know who.
Of course.
But I look at Chelsea, and they have Millie Bright in the back. You know, a really probably a world-class defender, I'd say. And up top they have Bethany England, I think, who's probably up there with Miedema, the best striker in the league or best attacker in the league. And I think even without having G, who's normally the main creator, it's almost like the David Silva effect that she has in that team, to still go out and score 8 goals. And
even without the star signing Sam Kerr as well.
Exactly. It just comes back to the point. I remember when Emma was saying the fact that Arsenal only have 1 goal threat in Miedema, while we have several. And you can see that. You can see in fruition she wasn't giving it all the talk, Emma Hayes. She was actually being quite factful for the fact that Chelsea actually have so many goals in their team. And some of the balls they're playing, you know, it's incredible.
Now, 8-0 was such a hard defeat to take. So Gilly Flaherty, the captain of West Ham, tweeted, "You have 2 options when going through tough times. You either stand up and counted for, or you crumble. I know I stand alongside the rest of the players, staff at West Ham Women, ready for the fight ahead. No words can justify today, and I apologise for that. We will not give up."
One thing I really like about Chelsea, their style of play, is they play with so much width. They have attacking fullbacks. I don't think in the women game there's not too much going on that, especially at Arsenal, we're playing a bit too narrow at the weekends. That kind of stuff, and I think that gives them that extra 2 players on each flanks, you know, stretch the opponent, and then the creators like Jess Carter, G when she comes back to really dissect, and Bethany England has all the space to wiggle around and score goals. So yeah, Chelsea looking
very strong, very strong contenders. Now Reading v Man United, this game right here is full of so much controversy because
United were robbed.
Where do I even start? So United were leading. They took the lead. Great vision from Katie Zellum there with a long ball through to Lauren James. And then the drama started. There was a penalty given. Mary Earps with a very beautiful save from Farah Williams' shot from the penalty spot. But then later on in the game, there was a second penalty given because apparently the referee saw a handball
ironically, the referee didn't have the visions to see the Zelem's header.
It was a header. It was a clear header. I think maybe it's because her arm swung up in the air, which is a natural motion when you're trying to jump up. The referee said it was a handball when it definitely wasn't. And then Reading got another penalty, and this time Farah Williams made no mistake and rocketed it into the back of the net.
At first, you don't succeed.
And then Zelem was given a yellow card for that. And that was one of 6 yellow cards, including Manchester United manager Casey Stoney, who got a yellow card, another yellow card for a manager.
I think it's a good yellow card to have because you should show a bit of passion and a bit of heart when it's such an injustice against your team. They also had an offside goal in between that was ruled out. And it just shows to that the linesman was so useless in that incident because he was right at his side. It wasn't even opposite. Fourth official, maybe he couldn't see it. But the liner was right directly in front of him. The wall, maybe Lauren James was in the way of a vision because she was one of the last people on the wall. Yeah. But still, the liner should actually have a matter of a say there. And it was a poor refereeing decision. Very poor. And I know a lot of people, especially within the game, don't like to comment on referees. But the players took to Twitter. Lauren James quoted a tweet and someone said, if it wasn't, these players' full-time job, the thing they sacrifice everything for very little reward, then this would be funny. But it's not funny, it's shambolic. And Lauren James agreed by saying what he said. And also Natasha Harding, who is the Reading captain, who basically benefited from this point. She said, in 9 years of being in this league, I have seen so many great things happen in our game, record crowds, games at Wembley and players turning professional. However, the level of officiating hasn't grown or developed within our game and we deserve better, our league needs better. Do you think, though, one of the main beauties of the Women's League at the moment is no VAR, but it could also be the biggest...
I don't want to see it.
But also could be the biggest drawback?
We just need to improve the pool of referees and officials and everyone that plays that role in the game to be better at what they do. Maybe
even do what UEFA did for a bit with the extra referee, officials on the side, creates more jobs. I mean, people are crying out for jobs.
I mean, whatever needs to be done very soon because, as Casey Stoney said, we're playing a professional game and we have amateur referees. That was the words of Casey Stoney. And you kind of have to agree with that because, I mean, it's human error. Humans can make mistakes. Offsides can be given and not given. You can't see everything. But when it's happening too often, something has to be done.
Surely also, if you're not sure, you don't give it. So how could the referee...
And it was such a quick decision as well.
How did she just went straight to the spot? I think the guy standing and sitting on the row Z could have said it was a header.
Oh, guys, let me know your thoughts on this weekend's refereeing options and opinions. And was it... well, we know it wasn't, but let me know what you think. Do you agree with the referee? Was it a handball? Clearly not. Moving on to our next subject, Liverpool's second match postponement in 3 weeks. Another game called off. They play at Prenton Park. 4 men's games were played there last month in the space of 12 days. The FA Cup third round against Watford replay. But the women's game has been postponed again. Have you seen that pitch?
I mean, it's not as bad as the Portsmouth one where they've battened about, I think, postponed about 14 games.
Yeah, it's been worse there.
But I think for a standard, if in the top division, I mean, there's 2 options: either play at Anfield, if they manage to put the kids out in the FA Cup and still manage to pack the crowd, just move it there, or even move it to your academy stadium. There are options in place, and I just think like they need to stop having this snobbish attitude towards the game, and then actually give them a platform to play the pitch. Have a plan B in place, because I mean the women's game needs that extra audience. If you're not going to take that seriously, then obviously you're taking it away from them. To attract that crowd, you need to have regimented process in place. I think they are crying out for better facilities, better options, and it's not doing well for the women's game. And I think someone needs to act on that.
Hopefully they're going to find a replacement for the women to play at, but I don't think it will be this season. So I don't know how... We've got Liverpool in, I think, 8 days. Next week, we've got Liverpool away. Hopefully that's not cancelled. I don't know how many more cancellations they'll have.
They're playing on the Goodison Park this...
Liverpool are having a...
That's going to be a big one,
Yeah, that's going to be
it's going to be really good for the football.
But Peter Moore, the chairman, who's also the chief exec of the men's side, said that the club will explore all options on facilities to host WSL games, but the question is how soon? When will it happen? When would you like to see it happen? I mean, realistically, ASAP, but we know that's not going to happen.
Yeah, I don't know why these kind of decisions take such a long time. I mean, if you're the decision maker, put it into action. I mean, let others, deal with the precautions after. But if you have the power to do so, just do it.
We have to mention, though, that Liverpool are not the only side in the women's game that have had postponements for bad pitches. Spurs against Bristol City this weekend was also cancelled. Bristol v West Ham was cancelled in December. Birmingham City versus Man United in December, and also Everton v Chelsea. But luckily for Liverpool, as you said, their next away game is away, and it's at Goodison Park. We've got a Merseyside derby on our hands.
So it's a derby Sunday, ain't it? It's going to be the North London derby, Merseyside derby. It's a really good thing. I think it would have been immaculate if Arsenal could have managed to do something with the Emirates as well.
Everyone keeps saying that.
That would have been a massive. It's all about marketing as well. If you create that, tickets, it can be sold.
But do you know what's even better news? Meadow Park is sold out.
Oh, that's
and
good.
It's not often we see that. And I was with Vivian Miedema and Lisa Evans the other day, and they were saying that they would love to see games play at Emirates, of course, but first of all, we would like to see Meadow Park being sold out. We've only seen it against Chelsea a couple of weeks ago, and now against Tottenham, which is happening on Sunday, which I cannot wait for. But if this happens more often, then I can't speak for Arsenal, but who's to say then games can't be played at Emirates if we're selling tickets?
I mean, it's true, because I feel like people need to stop having such a snobbish attitude towards the women's game, because there is technical ability, there is physicality in the game, and I for one have witnessed it all, and I know you have too. I mean, you look at some of the players, you look at Jill Roord. I mean, she's literally a bit like Kevin De Bruyne. She's unreal. Jill Scott, another really technical player. And then you look at the games. Last week there was 2 Man City versus Arsenal games, and how physical was the game? I mean, even had in the old Vieira Keane thing when Kemp went and stomped someone. It was absolutely crazy, and it was great for women's game. And I think the people that are having these snobbish attitudes with the women's game, I've got 4 words for you. Give it a go.
Give it a go.
Because I'm telling you, it's a lot better than people are giving it credit for.
All you have to do is give it a watch, and then you'll see. Because I know a lot of people leave comments, and I always think to myself, have you actually watched the game recently, live in the flesh?
Because there's a lot of revolution going on in the women's game, even world of sport with women. I mean, WWE, who used to have I know it's getting kind of off topic, but they used to have such a snobbish attitude towards the women's wrestling last year for the biggest event.
That's massive now.
Yeah, the biggest event, WrestleMania, they managed to be the main event. Becky Lynch, Ronda Rousey, and Charlotte Flair. So it can be done. It's just a case of people need to give it a go, and you're in for a treat when you do.
Now, I mentioned the postponements that happened recently, and that now leaves the table looking like this. So I can mention the teams that have only played 12 games. So Bristol City, as I mentioned, Liverpool, of course, West Ham, Everton, Man United, and then Chelsea are on 13. But in terms of the table, let's start from the bottom here. There's been a bit of a role reversal. It was between Bristol City and Liverpool for a couple of weeks, and now Bristol City sit at the bottom on 6 points, alongside Liverpool, who are just out of the relegation zone now, but they're still also on 6 points. And it's the goal difference that is killing Bristol City. Minus 29. I know we contributed to that with the 11 goals we scored against them, but that is going to be a hard pill to swallow, getting out of that relegation zone. Because if Liverpool go on to get a point here, or 3 points hopefully in the next game, Bristol City could be in real danger.
I actually think Bristol City have it in them to survive this year.
Really?
I feel like they're the wild card where if a big team comes, like the Man United game, they can upset someone. Even the Chelsea game, they did score first. Ebony Salmon, she has a knack of scoring against the big teams. If they catch him off on their off days, one of the big teams, or even any teams around them, I think Bristol City can upset a lot of people.
Oh, we'll have to see at the end of the season.
Dark horse.
Yeah. So they're moving up in 10th place. Birmingham City sit on 7 points, and then Brighton Women on 12, West Ham on 13, Tottenham on 16, Reading 18, Everton 18. They're joint there. Man United on 19 points, and then there's a big jump. So Man United are in 4th and on 19 points, and then there's a jump towards what you could call the top 3. Arsenal on 33, Chelsea on 35, and Man City on 36. How is it going to end at the end of the season, though? Give me your prediction.
I mean, you look at the title race now, it's got to be one of the best title races in the history of the game.
Yeah.
Not even just the women's or anything, because you look at Arsenal, Chelsea, City, they're all neck and neck, and the gap between them is so tight. They all score so many goals, and people will look at the fact that it's going to be the strikers. You look at Miedema, you look at Sam Bright. You look at Beth England. You look at Pauline Bremer, the top 3 goal scorer. I think Miedema's on 14, Beth England's on 12, and Paul Bremer's on 10. But I think it's going to come down to more down to who has the best defence, because I think it was Sir Alex Ferguson that once said, attacking wins you games, defence wins you the title. And I think it's how Leah Williamson, Millie Bright, and Steph Houghton, where the title's really going to go.
Yeah.
Because those 3 are the standout defenders of the league. I think you have Millie Bright and Steph Houghton, who are outstanding in defending. Then you have Leah Williamson, who's more for like an overall package, more for modern day defender. I feel like the other two is a more for Mourinho type manager, where you sit there and you defend for defending's sake. While you have Leah Williamson, who's a Pep Guardiola's dream, like literally Virgil van Dijk. Like she's immaculate and composure. And I do think it's going to be more of which out of the three defenders can have the overall impact in the league, more so than the strikers.
That'll be interesting.
It is, and that's why another reason I think if you're an Arsenal fan and you're seeing a team at 10th, I mean, come and support the women's, because you will see your teams win titles and play beautiful football. Yeah. You have a leader at the back, you have a goal-scoring striker, and you have a team with a great technical ability. It's like Arsenal in the early 2000s.
It's a great team to watch, honestly, and I don't just say that because I'm there every week. I literally love this team, and hopefully
gives you a good feel-good factor about the team as well.
And there's that hope that that we can at least win something this season, even if the league does slip away.
Quadruple.
There's the FA Cup, there's the Conti Cup, hopefully, and then possibly the Champions League. That's high heights. But let's look forward to this weekend. We have the North London derby. Give me your prediction first of all. I just met a Spurs player. I just came from UEFA Women's panel talk. And there was a Spurs player there, and I was like, I know you. I was like, oh, hello. I was like, I'll see you on Sunday. She seems quite cool and calm, obviously, because she's not in match day zone. But it's going to be a real battle, because I'm sure Spurs are going to want that revenge. Because we beat them 2-0 at their stadium, or the men's stadium. And now they're coming to our home at Meadow Park, probably looking to get revenge. What do you reckon?
I'm actually going to predict a 4-0 win to Arsenal.
We need to get that goal difference up, so I don't mind.
Yeah, exactly. And I also think that last time Arsenal lost to Chelsea, they bounced back straight away with West Ham, kept a clean sheet. The fact that Arsenal's now playing at home, the support, Meadow Park's been sold out. You're going to hear lots of chants going on, and it's going to be a great atmosphere. Even Leah Williamson, after the post-match interview on Women's Match Day show, she said she was really, buzzed about the fan chanting and spurring them on, and how it meant so much to the women's in the team. So I think having that as your 12th man, it could be fundamental for the success of the team, and I really look forward to the game, and I'm just going to predict 4-0. 4-0,
I would love to see it.
No, I mean,
and then of course
you would love to see it.
Of course, we have the Merseyside derby. What is your predictions for that? It's hard to say because Liverpool have been very inconsistent, as we mentioned, the pitch problem. So they were going on a good run of form, and then they had that break with their game cancelled. So now they're coming back into it on such a massive platform at Goodison Park. I don't know how they're going to take to it.
I mean, I know Everton suffered the defeat, and I think that they got the bit within the teeth to prove everyone wrong, especially could be a sold-out Goodison Park.
Yeah.
I'm going to predict a 5-2 in that one.
Oh, that's a lot of goals.
I am.
I was thinking more of a 2-1.
2-1.
Yeah.
I don't know, I feel like there's...
To Everton.
Liverpool, I mean, I don't think they're that regimented, and Everton, I think they got a lot of points to prove, as I said. And they seem like a team, on that verge of challenging the top three. Not there yet, but thereabouts. Liverpool on the other side of the...
So you're backing Vicky Jepson's side to score at least 2 goals on Sunday?
I am. I mean, especially in a derby day,
why not?
A lot of these things go out the window, so I am going to predict a 5-2.
Okay, the other games on the weekend, Birmingham City v Brighton Women. What is your take on that one?
I think it's going to be a tough one, but I think the fact that Brighton won the last game and just edged it as well, I think it's going to be... I'm going to go quite rogue here. I'm going to go with a 2-2
a draw.
Yeah.
I was thinking a draw also. I was thinking 1-1.
Okay.
But I know, both teams definitely need the 3 points, but I think Birmingham City will just edge this one.
You reckon?
Yeah.
We'll see.
Now, Bristol City against Reading. I think I have an idea of what you're going to say. Reading are away though, but I still have an inkling of what you're going to say.
Okay, I'm going to go with a 3-1 win to Reading.
I knew it. I just knew.
And I think the 1 goal is going to come from Ebony Salmon, because she's grabbing that goal scoring momentum on her side. She's really climbing up the goal scoring ranks as well, and the move to Bristol has been really good for her. And I think Reading will be too much for them, but I do think the first goal might come from Ebony Salmon.
Now, another 2 exciting fixtures. First one being West Ham Women v Man City Women. This is going to be... I mean, after that massive defeat against Chelsea last week, it's going to take a lot for West Ham's... And did you hear what their manager said? Matt Beard, he said after a result like that, I have to question if I'm even the man for this job. And that's such a big thing to say. If you, as a player, hearing your manager say that, it kind of puts you even more down in the dumps. So to come out again at home against another big side in the top 3, is not doing great for confidence, is it?
I wouldn't want to hear my manager saying those kind of things. You would want him to, be positive, or at least be critical of the performance, and not obviously criticise yourself, because who else are you going to look up to?
You need faith.
Exactly, and it's good to be humble, but that's just the wrong kind of humble. You should really, protect your players, protect your integrity of your team, and especially yourself, because when you have power and you have the authority, people will respect that. If you're going to talk down on yourself, then players are going to be like, do I really want to play for this guy? Maybe he's right, maybe he's not the man, and wondering I could go about.
Yeah.
And it's the one of those kind of thing, really.
Score prediction.
I'm going to go with 4-1 to Man City.
Getting a lot of goals this weekend if we're going by your predictions. And then last but no means least, Man United v Chelsea.
I really, really never thought I'd see the day where I'll support Man United. But in this case, I'm going to have to wear a different kind of red with Man United hopefully to win, but I'm just going to predict Chelsea to win. I think it's going to be a 3-2. Lauren James,
that sounds kind of close.
Will be going against Millie Bright, which will be a fascinating encounter.
Yeah.
One of the best players in the league against one of the best defenders in the league. It will be really, really titanic clash between the two. So I hope Man United can do us all a favour. But I do think it's going to be the case of Chelsea just being too good.
We'll have to see. Let us know your predictions by leaving them in the comments below. Let us know your score predictions for all of those games we just mentioned. Now it's the time in the show where I'm going to ask you your Arsenal player of the week and your WSL player of the week, because we're not biased around here.
Okay, so for Arsenal, I'm going to go with Jill Roord.
Okay, I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, I feel like
good.
she controls the game really well. Very much an unsung hero, very, very technically gifted. She reminds me of like a Kevin De Bruyne, playing for her. Some of the turns she does, some of the spins, it's mesmeric. And she definitely puts my bum off the seat. She's the one that really excites the fans. And I think she's my Arsenal player of the week.
I wouldn't normally do this, but I would have said, no disrespect to Jill Roord, amazing player, DVD, Daniel van der Donk, only because she scored 2 goals in 2 games against Man City.
That's true.
She was the goal scorer in both games. That's why I would give her the player of the week for Arsenal.
Slam dunk.
Yes. Now, give me your WSL player of the week.
It's a tough one, this one.
There's a lot of contenders.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure most of them come from the Chelsea team.
I mean, so I have to narrow down to one to not be biased towards Chelsea.
I can't even guess which one. Well, I could guess which one it could be, but...
Okay, so I'm going to go
the obvious one would be...
The 3 names
okay.
I'm going to name for the contenders. I will be Joe Scott as an outsider, but the main 2, I'd go with Lauren James.
Oh, okay.
From Man United, and Bethany England.
Wow.
And out of the 3, no pun intended there, but I think Beth England is better than anyone there.
That was the worst pun ever. literally the worst pun.
I tried.
No, yeah, she's been very, very good for Chelsea. Won the Player of the Month, WSL Player of the Month as well for January. So top pick. Cannot disagree with you. Let me know yours in the comments below. Your Arsenal Player of the Week and your WSL Player of the Week. Now that is where we end the show. Unfortunately, thank you all so much for watching, and thank you, Jules, for joining me this week.
Thanks for having me, Pippa. I was going to say it's been a pleasure as well.
Great minds
think alike.
Yeah. See you guys next week. See you on Sunday, actually, where we'll be doing fan cams at the North London Derby.